Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, welcome back to the channel. My name is Mark Roden, and today we are going to be going over the top 10 dirt cheap Hondas you can buy for less than $5,000. We all love Hondas on this channel. If you don't, well, I'm sorry to break the news to you, but I have an Integra, and so you probably don't like me either, but we love them here. So today I'm going to give you guys some options as a new time car buyer. Luckily for us, there are a lot of cheap Hondas. Like, you could probably find 20 different models of Hondas that are under 5K. Like, that's how many there are. And so we got 10 options here. By the time this video goes live, by the way, it's going to be tomorrow on Friday. I'm going to be in Atlantic City. I'm going to be in Atlantic City from Friday until Sunday night. Now, most likely, like 90% sure, I will be uploading on Monday just as normal, and there should be nothing to worry about. However, there is a very, very small chance that after I get back from Atlantic City, I'm going to be exhausted, and I'm going to have like to sleep all day on Monday, and so there may not be a video on Monday. There should be. I just wanted to put it out there though, just in case it does happen, so that you guys are not on edge or anything like that. But anyway, let's get into the video with number 10. Coming in at the number 10 spot is going to the Honda Civic EG. Just a little bit of a spoiler alert. They're all Hondas, obviously. If you were expecting anything else, you gotta start reading better. I don't know what to tell you. The Honda Civic EG is one of the older Civics, and they are raising in price a lot because all these older Civics are, but luckily you still can find an EG under 5K, and it's actually still pretty easy to do that. They come with a 1.5 liter inline 4, making 103 horsepower, which is blisteringly fast. Obviously, you're gonna be rocketing. Now here's the thing about the EG Civic. Yeah, all right, it's slow off the line. I'm not gonna lie. There's no point in arguing that. But it's incredibly lightweight. It can be swapped with any Honda motor that you want to swap it with, and it's incredibly cheap to build up. There's a reason why people like EGs. Get one now before they become way too overpriced. They already are a little bit overpriced if I'm being honest, but get one now, okay? Coming in at number 9 is going to the CD5 Honda Accord. That's right, you buy one of these, you get 5 CDs. All of them are Nickelback CDs. It's great. I want one just for that reason alone. In all seriousness, I love Accords. I think Accords, the whole line of Accord is incredibly underrated. And this one comes with a 2.2 liter inline 4, making 145 horsepower, and it's front wheel drive. That's the thing that I feel like people always like sleep on about Accords. They are usually like one of the more powerful versions of the Civics. Like I don't really think people realize that. You get like a V6 Accord with a 6-speed manual in it, a 6.6 they call them. Dude, you're balling. Now, I don't think there is a 6.6 option in the CD5, but I'm just talking about in later generations. Either way, though, the CD5 is incredible. I personally just love the looks of it, but it is incredibly easy to build up, just like every other Honda. You can make incredible power out of it, and since it's an Accord, they're incredibly cheap. Coming in at number 8 is going to probably the most underrated car on this list, and one of the most underrated vehicles in the world, in my opinion. It is the Honda Odyssey 1st and 2nd generation. Hear me out. I don't understand where this whole idea that minivans are like a bad thing came from, to be honest, because yeah, we don't want to buy a minivan, but if you have to, the Honda Odyssey is so good. It comes with a 3.5 liter V6, making 240 horsepower, and it is all-wheel drive or front-wheel drive. You can get just front-wheel drive model, but that is, first of all, obviously you don't really care too much about horsepower, but that is so cool. 240 horsepower in a freaking minivan. Count me in, buddy. Now here's the thing too. You can make the Odyssey fast. Like, is it a good idea to make it fast? Is it financially wise? No. But you can, if you wanted to. You can make this thing very cool. But at the end of the day, if you need a cheap, like, daily driver that you could literally have endless possibilities with, a Honda Odyssey is an incredible option. Coming in at number 7, however, is going to the wonderful Honda Prelude 4th generation. Now, here's the thing. Friendo, pal, buddy, Miko. That's what people call me for some reason. People in high school used to call me Miko all the time. Makes no sense. But anyway, Honda Prelude 4th generation. You can buy any Prelude under 5K if I'm being honest, but I personally like the 4th gen the best, so I put it here. But if you want a 5th gen, a 3rd gen, you can. It comes with a 2.2 liter inline 4, making 135 horsepower, and it's front wheel drive. Not the fastest car on this list, and sadly, it doesn't come with one of the better motors. That's why it's only at number 7. But it was a car that was built for sport purposes, whereas cars like the Civic and the Accord, even though they're amazing cars and I do love them, they weren't really built to go fast, whereas the Prelude and like the Integra and the RSX and the Civic SI, they were. And so that's why, yes, it doesn't have as much power as some of the other cars on this list, but it does have a lot better like handling and suspension and stuff like that. And it also just looks incredible. Those headlights, man, ooh. Coming in at the number 6 location is the Acura Integra LS. Before somebody gets confused, Acura is the exact same thing as Honda. It's just that's what they're called here in America because we're idiots and we buy luxury cars, and they had import laws back in the 90s. It's a whole fiasco, but they're the same exact car. The Acura Integra LS, this is my car, baby. I love it. It comes with a 1.8 liter inline 4, making 140 horsepower, and it is front wheel drive. Of course, it's a Honda. Get ready. Every car on this list is going to be front wheel drive. And I can speak on this one because I actually own an Integra LS. It is fun, dude. Now, in terms of straight line performance, it's slow. It's very slow. 140 horsepower is not a lot at all. It's nothing impressive. You're not going to have fun in that way. You can easily make this car, since it has a B series in it, you could easily make this car fun in a straight line. But where it really shines is around the corners. The car is incredibly lightweight and it has incredible suspension. It just grips up. Put some coilovers on it. You're amazing. It also looks cool, I think. Some people don't like the spider headlights, but me personally, I think it looks good. Coming in at number 5 is going to another Honda Accord, but this time the 7th generation. This 7th gen are probably the cheapest Accords right now. Probably like one of the cheapest. No, I was about to say it's probably the cheapest Honda, but that's not true because the 7th gen Civic is definitely the cheapest Honda. But the 7th gen Accord is incredibly cheap, and it's because the people that buy them kind of don't really take too good care of them. But either way, they come with a 3-liter V6 making 244 horsepower, and they are front wheel drive. And yes, you can find the V6 for under 5K. That's incredible. 244 horsepower under 5K is pretty damn good. On top of that, it's a Honda, so it's obviously very reliable. The looks are questionable. I gotta say, I'm not the biggest fan of the 7th gen Accord's looks, but it is an amazing car. I love the 7th gen Accord. If you don't love Accords, you're sleeping. You are sleeping. Wake up. Wake up. It's time, because Accords are cool cars, man. Like, the Civics are cooler, obviously. The Preludes are cooler. The Integras are cooler, but the Accord is still cool. Coming in at the number 4 spot is going to the wonderful Honda Civic SI 8th generation. That's right, buddy. The first K-powered vehicle on this list. The first vehicle that's like literally strictly meant for sports. I think the SI actually stands for sport injection, if I'm not mistaken. And it's the 8th gen. I love the 8th gen. A lot of people like kind of hate on the 8th gen, but I have absolutely no clue why. I think they look incredible, especially the sedans. They come with a 2-liter inline 4 making making 201 horsepower, and they are front wheel drive, of course. They, like I said before, a lot of people for some reason don't seem to really like enjoy the 8th gen Civic SIs. I do. Dude, there's nothing wrong with them at all. They handle really well. I think they look really good. They come with a K series, so you can easily pump up the horsepower if you want to. And it already has 200 horsepower out of the gate, which is pretty decent, honestly. And they're still a Civic, so they're still incredibly reliable. Now, they are a little bit hard to find under 5K compared to the rest of the cars on this list, but it still can be done as long as you have patience, especially if like you're actually, like I'll look it up just for these videos, you know, I'm not even actually looking to actually buy the car. If I was actually looking to buy an 8th gen Civic, I'd obviously look at the market for like weeks at a time until I finally found the perfect deal. You could easily find one for under 5K if you did that. Coming in at 3rd place, bronze medal. This is a position that freaking, I don't know, somebody that's really bad at racing always finishes in. It's the Acura TL 3rd generation. I love the TL. I feel like I keep saying that for every single car on this list, but I like Hondas, okay? I'm just going to say it. I like Hondas. I pretty much always recommend buying the Acura TL 3rd gen to a lot of people on this channel, and it's still here. Comes with a 3.2-liter V6, making 258 horsepower, and it's front-wheel drive. On top of all that stuff, it's actually quite luxurious compared to the rest of the cars on this list, too, and it's still pretty damn reliable. And it still comes with a manual. And it still looks incredibly aggressive. Now, the sad part about the TL compared to the rest of these cars, it is a little bit heavier than them, since it has a lot more, you know, nice parts on it. And so it's not as good as some of them around a track or like cornering or autocross, toge, that kind of stuff. It's not the best for that compared to the rest of these cars. But for just about everything else, in my opinion, it's 10 times better. I love the 3rd gen TL. Coming in at 2nd place, however, the silver medal for this list is going to the Honda CR-V 1st and 2nd generation. Both of them are a good option. You can find both of them under 5K, and so they're both going to be here. I really couldn't choose one. I personally like the 1st generation a little bit better, but that's just because I like the looks of it better. The 2nd gen is technically the better vehicle, though, so pick your poison. It comes with a 2.4-liter inline 4, making 160 horsepower, and it is 4x4. This is actually, I know this is going to sound a little bit crazy, but the CR-Vs, at least the 1st generation, were powered by K-Series. The second gen, I'm pretty sure, was also powered by a K-Series. And then I'm pretty sure even the third generation was also powered by K-Series, if I'm not mistaken. So yes, you can make your CRV incredibly fast, but that's not the only thing that really strikes the core. That's not the only reason why the CRV is at second. It's also here because it's 4x4, one of the only vehicles on this list that are, besides the Odyssey. You can take it off-road if you want to, has a ton of space, still incredibly reliable. Looks are obviously grandma car looks, but you can make it better looking very easily, I feel like. It's a very slept-on car for sure. The honorable mention, because I feel like I just had to include it here since it's like the cheapest Honda available right now, is the Honda Civic 7th generation. The Honda Civic 7th gen comes with a 1.7 liter inline-4, making 115 horsepower, and it is front-wheel drive. They're very ugly, if I'm being honest. They're definitely my least favorite generation of the Honda Civic, but if you just want a cheap, very, very cheap Honda to get into right now, the 7th gen is probably one of your best bets. They're incredibly, incredibly cheap. They're not expensive in the slightest bit. But of course, first place goes to none other than the Acura RSX Type S. Yes, you still can find a Type S for under 5K. A lot of people seem to think you can't, and it is harder. I will give you that. It's hard to find one under 5K. It's even harder to find a clean example of one under 5K, but you can find one under 5K, especially if you don't mind dealing with a little bit of high miles or some issues that you know you can fix out of the gate. But either way, they come with a 2.4 liter inline-4, making 197 horsepower, and they are front-wheel drive. The RSX is pretty much the Integra, but better. You know the Integra GSR? I'm sure you guys do. The Integra GSR is a very good car. That car is literally just a worse version of the Type S RSX. There's nothing else about it. It comes with a K-Series, once again, obviously a big plus. It looks, oh my goodness, so incredible. I love it. I don't know what I just did there with my mouth, but it looks good. I almost bought the RSX before I bought the Integra, and the only reason why I didn't buy the RSX over the Integra is because I got sick and tired of looking at RSXs that had rust on every single quarter panel imaginable. It was just getting annoying. So first Integra I looked at though didn't have that much rust at all, so that's why I went with that one. But the RSX is such a good car. Hopefully after the Integra build, I'll buy an RSX, and then it'll all come full circle. But ladies and gentlemen, that is the end of today's video. I hope you guys enjoyed. If you did, please be sure to like, comment, and subscribe for more content just like that. You guys, like what I did in my head there? That was a puzzle for you to solve. It wasn't a puzzle. I was just making stupid facial expressions. Anyway, guys, thank you so much for watching. I do appreciate it. I'm going to wrap up today's outro relatively quick because I have to make another video just in case I'm not going to be here on Monday. It's going to be a big fiasco. I also have other channels that you guys do know about, the Giggity, the GTA Online channel. I have that channel too, so I have to make a video for that one as well. But yeah, I got a lot of stuff to do, so I got to wrap up this video quick. I just realized that now me talking about all the stuff that I have to do made the outro longer than it had to have been. Makes no sense. Thank you guys so much for watching. Have a nice night.